Welcome all. Today in this session, I'm going to tell you that how you can read the data from the Excel. For that purpose, in my system, in my D drive Pradeep data folder, we have a file that is test data Excel. So let me open this file so that I can show you that I'm going to read the data from this Excel. Okay. So this file contains, you can see three columns, F name, middle name, and age here. Okay. So I'm going to read the data from this Excel, and this data is available in the test data sheet. We have other sheet Anshu also, you can say, but we are going to read the data from this test data sheet. So let me open my Java file here. This is my Java file, and the main function I'm going to write the code. So first code we are going to write that that is very common. I'm going to write a common code so that it will be easy for everyone. So first of all, you have to create the file object. So how you are going to create file equal to new file you have to do. Okay, and in this file you can see that we are going to use this constructor where we are going to pass the name of the file here. So this I'm going to do it here. So here I'm going to just pass the path. So let me go and let me copy the path. So this is the path. I will simply go here and let me put the path here, and after this at the end I'm going to put the slash slash, and now I'm going to give the complete name of my file. So I'm just copying. So with extension you have to give, and let come to here and put it here. So this is the first step, that you have to create the file object. Second thing is that because you are going to read the data, you have to create a file input stream. So here you can say that file input stream. So I'm just selecting this one, and you can see that it is automatically taking the import automatically here. So file input stream FIS equal to, I can say that new file input stream. And in this file input stream, you can see that I'm going to pass the constructor, this one, where we have to pass the file object, which are already created in the, you can say, previous line. So this is done here. Okay, now it is giving the exception. So usually we should use the, you can say, best practice that we should use the surrounded try catch. But here for the learning purpose, we are using the throws so that your code will be very simple. Okay, so add throws. So now this line is just I've created this line to create the file input stream object here. Okay, now after that you can say that if we want to read the file from the Excel, so we need a class which contains all the function to read the data from the Excel. But here you can see that the name of the class is XSF workbook, and that is not available by default in the Java libraries. For that purpose we need a jar that is called Apache POI. So if you are using the Maven project, the benefit is that you can simply go to the pom.xml here. So this is my project file, and here you have to use this dependency, this one. You have to use this dependency. You can get this dependency from the Maven repository here. Okay, and if you are not aware that how we can create the Maven project, you can go to my channel and see that how we can create the Maven project and how we can add the dependency. So you have to add this dependency in your pom.xml, and then you can start using the XSF workbook class. Okay, so we have created the file object. We have created, you can say, this file input stream. Now next step is that we are going to create the object of XSF workbook. So here you can say that because I have added the dependency of Apache PY, so I'm able to create the object of XSF workbook, and here I will give the name test data Excel. So you can give any name here to your reference, but here I'm giving test data Excel. So in this way, I've created the object here, and in this case, I'm just using this object where I'm passing the file input stream. You can use the file also, but here I'm just going through the simple way, like first create file object, that input stream, and then I'm using this one where you have to pass the file input stream. So let me simply do this thing, and again it is giving the exception. So again I'm saying that every time it is advised that recommended that you should use the surround with try catch, but I want to make my code easy to understand for you guys, so that's why I'm using add throws. Okay, but you have to use the try and catch here. So this is 3 lines of code I have written here, and now if you talk about this test data Excel reference variable, or you can say object, it is presenting this whole Excel. This whole Excel test data Excel is presented by this test data Excel reference variable in my program. Now in this Excel, you are going to read a sheet, particular sheet, and that is test data sheet. So how you can read the sheet here? So this test data Excel, you can say reference contains a function that is called get sheet. So I'm going to use the get sheet here, and you have to pass the name of the sheet here, and it will return the object of XSF sheet here. So I will simply do this thing, and let me do one thing. It is best practice that instead of writing the name, you can go to the Excel and just copy this name test data. So I will go here and I will use it here. So this is my sheet here, and now I told you that it is returning the object of XSF sheet. So I'm going to use XSF sheet here. Okay, so I'm going to use this as XSF sheet here. So now I will say that sheet. So this sheet reference variable is presenting my sheet here, this test data sheet. If you want to read data from some other sheet like unsure Prashant data, you pass that name. I'm interested in test data sheet. Now we got the sheet here. Now what you have to do next, you can say that here the important thing is that this sheet is nothing. We can say that if somebody asks you what is you can say what is Excel or workbook. So Excel workbook is a collection of sheets here, like you can see here, and now every sheet is a collection of rows here. So why I'm telling you this thing, now if you want to read the data, you got the sheet here. If you want to read the data from the specific you can say row, like if you take the example of this one, I want to read the data from this second row. So here you can say that it follows the indexing of the concept in rows, like it is a 0 and it is 1 here. So how I'm going to use it, so you can say that in the sheet object we have a function that is called get row dot get row here. So I'm going to use this function that is called get row, this one here, and in the row you have to pass the row number. I told you if you want to read the first row you have to pass the index 0, and if you want to read the second row, so you have to write 1 here. So index start from 0. So it will read the this row and will store in a variable that I'm going to create here that is XSF row here. So now I will give the name here, row here. Now you can see that this is the row, I got the row here. So this row is presenting the first row. Now row, what is row? If simply understand, row is nothing. Row is a collection of cells like this cell, this cell, this cell. So if you want to read any cell from the row, you can simply use the function that is called row, and you can say dot get cell. And in the cell, you have to again pass the cell number, and return type is XSF cell. So here you can say what cell you have to pass. If you want to read the you can say first column, like you want to read the this first column cell or second column cell or third column cell. So it also use the indexing of 0, 1 and 2. I want to read this cell from first row, so it will be 0 cell, it will be 1 cell, it will be 2 cell. So here I've written row dot get cell 0. So it will return the first one, and I'm going to store in a reference variable that is XSF cell here. So this is very important. And now when I got the XSF cell here, I am just giving the reference name meaningful, like it is, you can say first name cell. Okay, so I'm writing here F name cell here. This is F name cell. Now in the same way, if you want to read the some other data, like if you want to read the data from, you can say, for example, you want to read the data for a middle name also. So this is, you can say, this is cell 1 here. So I will simply write a line, row, same row, get cell 1, and here I will say that M name cell. So now we got the cell here. After getting the cell from this cell, what is in the cell? This cell contains the actual value. It can be it can be any string value. It can be a numeric value. So currently it is showing the string value. So whenever you want to get the value from the cell in this cell reference, you have a function that is called get string cell value. So this is going to return the string here. You can say that I'm going to store in a variable. Simply I will say that string string, and I will say that f name. Okay, so I will simply say f name. In the same way, from you can say from this cell I can return the middle name. So I will do one thing, I will simply copy this code so that it will be easy for everybody. So f name, and I will say give the reference variable name m name, and now this m name cell is, I'm going to utilize it here. So now what happens when this code will return? It will return the first name value, it will return the middle name value, and now simply we can print it here. So I'm going to use a single SOP where I'm going to print it in the same line, like I will print f name, and I will do one thing, I will make a some you can say colon here, so that it is just to make a difference that I'm printing first name, and then in the same line I'm printing the a middle name in the console, so that it will be easy for everybody. So you can see it easily. Okay, so now let me run this program, so and just see that what is the output for that. So you can say that, let me run it. So I'm running it, and you can see that it is reading the data from the, you can say, my file, and it is printing Gayatri Chauhan because I have given the row number. So if you can see here, I've given the row number equal to, I have given the 1. So for example, if you want to read the data for this one, Pradeep, so it is third row. Third row means my index will be 0, 1 and 2. So if I, instead of using get row 1, if I pass this 2, it will return the value of the, you can say, third row. Okay, column will be same. So if I run it, you can see that it will return the values, like you can say Pradeep and Nailwal here. So this is the row, and cell will always be first cell and second cell, or you can say first and second column. Now the question is that if you want to print all the values from all the rows here, okay, cell you can write. If you want to read the data from third cell also, you can write, you are going to write this code again like this one. Okay, this you can do it. If you want to see, let me show you that part also. Copy and suppose take the example, I can do one thing. I can row 2. If I'm going to put it 2, so it will return the eighth cell. Okay, so I will write eighth cell. And now how we can return the value? Same, I'm going to do it here, like copy here, and I'm going to paste it here, and I will write here age, and here age cell. I need to return the value from age cell, this one. And now let me show you this thing. This is also working fine. So again, I'm making a colon here, and then I'm putting the value of age, and just see that it is reading the value for age also. Okay, so in this way, it doesn't matter you have 2 columns, 3 columns, you can read it. So this time it is going to read the value for third row, because I'm using index 2, it means 3. So let me run it and see that it is working fine or not. So it is working, and now it should return the value Pradeep Nalwal, and 78 is age. So let me go and check it here. Yeah. So this, for this row, this age is 78. So in this way, we can read the data for a particular row. Now in the interview, simply it is asked that how you can read the data for all the rows. है ना? So in that case, what we are going to do, we are going to write a simple for loop. But for loop, one important thing is needed. What is that? We need to find the number of rows which contains the data. Okay, you know that in this Excel, you can say that Excel is a, you can say, a collection of rows, but we need how many rows contains the data, total number of rows which actually contains data. So for that purpose, we have a function in the sheet that is called sheet dot get physical number of rows. So this function returns the number of rows which contains the data. So I'm going to call this function. I'm store the return result in a variable this number of rows here. Okay, so I've written this. Now we can do one thing. If we want to read the data from all the rows, so what we can do, we can make a loop here for, and let me know for, and here I will create a proper function int I equal to 0. I will make a variable I equal to 0, then I. So I want to do I start. I know that it's starting of the row will be indexed from 0, but what should be the last index? So whatever number of rows is there, the index should be less than 1. Means if the number of rows are 8, if the number of rows are 8, so my loop will be from 0 to 7. That's why I'm using less than here. And now after that, I will simply increment the value of I, that is I plus plus. Okay, so that is done. And now whatever code we have written it, uh, replace in the within the loop here. And now this row, because column will always be same like 0 1 2, but every time this row should be the row from 0 1. So I'm putting it here I here. So now this is the done. And now let me run this code and see that this code is working fine or not. So I'm printing the values from the console for the all rows. So you can see that it is now reading the data from every row here. Even it is printing the data from the header. So if you want to remove the header part, you can ignore the iterating the value of I0. But I think it is very easy program to understand, and this is frequently asked in the interview. So if you have any question, you can ask me. And if you have any type of, you can say, doubt, you can put in the comment of this video. If you have not subscribed my channel till now, you can subscribe it. Thank you.